Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I want to talk about the housing market. If you are like me and you wanted to buy a house in this 2020, but due to the current situation that we all know, now we are hesitating whether or not it's going to be a good idea to buy a house. So the purpose of this video is going to help you to answer those questions, and I created a procedure that is going to help you, and at the same time I'm going to go through the whole video and show you this procedure based on my personal situation. You can follow the same procedure based on your own personal information. I'm going to talk specifically about the housing market of the province of Quebec, Canada, which is the province where I live, and you can do the same based on the current situation of the housing market in your country or your region. Now, to start, I thought of these three questions that are going to help us to determine what is our current situation. The first question you have to ask is, do you urgently need a house, let's say this month or the next month of June, or if you can wait, let's say 5, 6, 7 months or up to a year. So in my case, I can wait up to 1 year, so that gives me more time to monitor the market and to find or trying to see what is the better time to buy a house. The second question you have to ask is, do you need the house, or do you want the house to live in that house or to rent it out? I want the house to rent it out and make profit out of that monthly rent. And the third question is, what is your current financial situation? If due to the crisis you are not working anymore and your income was reduced, or you are only now living thanks to the help of the government, or if you are working from home and basically your financial situation hasn't been affected at all. My personal situation is that I'm not working anymore because of the crisis, and I don't know if when everything is reopened, the company where I worked before is going to call me again to come back and work with them. So now I'm only receiving the help of the government. So basically my economic situation is a bit complicated right now. So now that we know what is our current situation, we have to find out what is the current situation of the housing market. And to do this, I like to go to the internet and read all the news that I can. And you can go to read the news or watch the news on the TV too, but I prefer the internet because I like to do my own research on my own. So I understand there's a lot of information on the internet, so we have to be very careful and try to find only the most relevant news on the internet. So what I do is, if I find something that I like or a news that I find very interesting, so I try to find the same news coming from another source of information, let's say, for example, coming from another newspaper. With that, by doing that, I think at least I have the idea that this news might be true or might be more accurate. Instead, if I just find it coming from one newspaper, for example, or one magazine, more likely this news is not real or is not too accurate. So you have to be aware also that not all that you read on the internet is true. So, and that is going to be very hard to make sure that what we are reading is 100% true. Instead, what you can do is apply your own logic. Think of, for example, if you find a news that is saying that if this quarantine is extended for over a year, the housing market is not going to be affected. With that, I can apply my logic and say to myself, if this is true, then the housing market should be affected because people are not going to have money to buy a house, and thus, if there is demand, the prices should go down because nobody is buying houses anymore. So use your logic, apply it to this news, and at the end, make your own conclusions. I'm sure that it's going to help you to have a better understanding on the current situation on the housing market in your country. Then what I did is, because I wanted to have more information related to the housing market in the province of Quebec, I went to the internet and visited the websites of two of the biggest real estate companies in the country. and I created my own profile and started to mark all the houses that I found interested as favorites. By doing that, I've monitored all the prices of all these houses, and I found that the prices haven't changed so far. And also I noticed that people are still buying houses because some of those houses have been sold already. Another thing that you have to consider is what is the current situation of your illness in your country. If cases are going up instead of going down, that is going to give you a better understanding, a better picture on how the economy is going to behave in the next month or two. For example, in the province of Quebec, I know that cases are going up, and apparently the situation is not going to change in the near future. But despite all this, the government has announced that during the month of May, some businesses are going to start to reopen. So that gives me the idea that the economy is trying to go back to normal, but at the same time, it's not certain how well it's going to go because we still have a lot of cases confirmed day by day, and until this illness is not gone forever, maybe we're going to have the same uncertainty on the economy. So based in all this information and my personal situation, I can conclude that it's not a good idea for me to buy a house in the near future because the economy is not clear, and given that I can wait up to a year to buy a house, maybe during this time the economy is going to go back to normal and I can take advantage of that situation. Basically, this is the purpose of this video, to help you, to give you a better understanding on how to get to a conclusion, and if it is not a good idea for you to buy a house. If you have more ideas or things that can help us to determine whether or not it's a good idea to buy a house for us based on our personal situation, please leave those comments in the comment section below. And remember, the purpose of this channel is to create a community that we can help to each other to achieve our financial goals and to learn how to invest in the future. Thank you, and if you like this video, please hit the like button and support my channel. So thank you and have a good one.